Hello guys, my name is Sihlengalo. On this video we're gonna be configuring router on a stick. Okay, I'm sure you're asking yourself what is a router on a stick and what it does. Okay, let's say for example, in this topology we got two switches, the other one in third floor and the other one in second floor. Okay, let's say we didn't have the VLANs, we only had the default VLAN 1. PC1 send a broadcast frame intended for the PCs, intended for sales department PCs. Okay, it will send a frame with a MAC address of all F. Then it will come to this switch and it will be sent to IT department, and HR department will also receive the frame because we didn't have the multiple VLANs. Okay, so now the VLANs separate the LAN, or separate the LAN or separate the broadcast domain. Okay, now if we send a broadcast message from PC1 only to sales department, then the frame will go to PC2, will go to only the PCs that are on the same VLAN as PC1. Okay, so now if the PC1 want to communicate with PC2, send the unicast frame for PC2, intended for PC2, it will go to the switch 1, then after switch 1 goes to PC2 because they are on the same VLAN. So now if PC1 send the unicast frame intended for PC3 on the IT department, then it will go to switch 1, then after switch 1 it goes to switch 2. From switch 2 it goes to a router. From a router it can come back because it needs a default gateway to communicate with PC3. So it will come back to switch 2, from switch 2 come back to switch 1, then it will go to IT department PC3. Oh, okay. There's access ports and trunk ports. This one between two switches is a trunk port. Trunk port is not assigned to a single VLAN. It is used by multiple VLANs, and even this one is a trunk port. Okay, then all these ports that connect to end devices, they are called access ports. Okay, now let's start the configurations. Okay, on the configurations we go to switch cell I, then we enable, then config terminal, then now we can start configuring host name. No basic configuration has been configured on these switches and the PCs before. We're only starting now. Yes, we're only starting now. So host name SW1. Then let's configure our VLANs. VLAN 10 and name sales. Then let's go to another one, VLAN 30 name, VLAN 30 name IT. Then exit. Now let's configure our ports. Okay, let's select interface. Interface range F0, F01, okay, switch port, mode, and access. Switch port, access, VLAN 10. Yes. Then let's go to another one. Interface int f0/f0/3. Okay. Switch port mode, access, switch port access, VLAN 8. Okay, now let's configure a trunk port. Int f0/5. If you notice, when on the beginning I entered the whole commands, like I didn't use shortcuts, but now I'm gonna use shortcuts because I don't want this video to be too long. Okay, thanks. Okay. On a real switch, before you enter this command, you'll enter on a physical switch, you'll enter switch port trunk, then encapsulation .1q. .1q is an open standard for all the PCs. Every PC, every switch can use it. It's an open standard. Then there's ISL. If you just go to switch port mode, the ISL one is it's a vendor based. It's only intended for Cisco devices. Okay, switch port mode, trunk. Yes, then we configured a trunk on f0/5. Then now let's go to another switch on the second floor. Enable config terminal. Then after entering config terminal, then we want to change host name. Host name SW2. Now you can see it changed. Okay, now let's configure our access ports and trunk ports. Okay, int f0/1, switch port mode, access, switch port access, VLAN 10. So it's creating VLAN 10. Int f0/4, switch port mode, access, switch port access, VLAN 20 HR, VLAN 20. Okay. Int f0/5. Now we're going for the trunk ports. Switch port mode, trunk, switch port mode, trunk, switch port mode, trunk. Okay, then int 0/4 /1 /port mode trunk, then accept. Okay, now let's create the VLANs that we have. Okay, VLAN 10 name sales, VLAN 20 name HR. Okay, now let's go to a router. CLI, so enable config terminal. Then let's change the host name of a router as well. R1. Then now let's configure the interfaces. Int0/0. The first thing we do, we want to bring up this line because now it's down. So no shutdown. So you can read here, now it's up. You can check the lights are changing. Okay, now let's configure sub interface. So that we can configure the gateway for all the VLANs, so they can be able to communicate with each other. Okay, int0/0.10. That's the sub interface for VLAN 10. Okay, so we enter this command for VLAN 10. This is open standard command that you need to enter when you configure a sub interface for VLAN 10 in order to communicate with other devices. Okay, sorry. Sorry, 10, I forgot 10. Yeah, now let's assign the IP address. IP address 192.168.10.254. Then subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Okay, let's go to the other sub interface for VLAN 20. int0/0.20. Okay, this command again. So IP address 192.168.20.254, then 255.255.255.0. Okay, now let's go for VLAN 30. Interface J0 /0.30, then the command again, .1Q30, then subnet mask, okay, we are done here. Now we configure the default gateway for all these VLANs. Now let's configure the PCs. Okay, config default gateway 192.168.10.254. then configure the IP address 192.168.10.1. then press enter. Then the subnet is matching, it's fine. Then let's go PC2, configure, okay, default gateway 192.168.10.254. then interface 192.168.10.2. press enter. The subnet mask is fine, it's matching /24. Okay, now let's go to PC3. We do that as well. Default gateway 192.168.30. yes, within 30 IT.30.254. then let's go here, configure the IP address 192.168.30.3. it's matching. Let me check something. Oh yeah, it's matching. Let's configure let's configure PC4. Config PC4 is VLAN 20, so 192.168.20.254. then 192.168.20.4. it's matching, it's fine. Let me take this here, I think it's fine. Let's configure PC5 gateway. PC5 is VLAN 10, 192.168.10.254. then let's go here to configure 192.168.10. okay, it's .5. then okay, everything is fine. Now let's try and test the communication. Let's test the communication first. We're gonna use PC1 to test the communication. Desktop, Let's go to command prompt. Let's try and ping PC2 first. Ping 192.168.10.2. They are on the same VLAN, so it won't take, there's no loss. So 4 packets sent and receive 4, it means 100% it's pinging. Let's now try and ping PC4 on the HR department. It's VLAN 20.4. the IP address. Okay, now we're pinging this PC. Okay, the ping, we got 25% loss because it was the first time it pinged PC4. If we do it again, we won't have any loss. Okay, now let's try and ping PC3. I want to show you something. Ping 192.168.30.3. Okay, so do you think the ping will go through or will fail while it's still pinging? Tell me, guys, do you think the ping will go through or will fail? Okay, the ping is failing, or the ping failed. Okay, do you know the reason why it failed? If I may ask you guys, do you know the reason why it failed? If you know the reason why it failed, please write on the comment section the reason why. Okay, me, I know the reason. Let me config. The reason it failed is because on second floor we only configured 2 VLANs, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. We didn't configure VLAN 30 for IP department on this switch, so that, like, if you can check, router is connecting to this switch, so whatever happens, VLAN 30 will pass on switch 2, so it needs to be there as well, although it won't be assigned on any interface, but it will be there so that when it goes to its default gateway, it will have a pass-through. So now let's configure VLAN 30 on switch 2. Okay, VLAN 30 name IT, then we're done. Let's go to PC1 again and try to ping VLAN 30. Okay, we entered the command. I hope you can see it. We entered the command again. Let's ping VLAN 30 now, since it's created on PC on switch 2. Okay, it's pinging. Okay, now it's going through. Now it's going through because now it's going through and it's giving us 100% no loss. Yeah, that was it for today, guys. We configured router on a sticker. Okay, on the next video we'll configure router on a sticker as well, or we're gonna use this same topology diagram, but we're not gonna be assigning IP addresses on the laptops ourselves. We're gonna assign them using DHCP and configure as well DHCP snooping to prevent attacker from flooding our DHCP with the request command, DORA commands. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe. If this video was helpful, please subscribe so that we can grow the channel and for me in order to make more videos. Thank you guys. Bye.